it's cliche when the band says like the next record is gonna be heavier, but actually this time Band of Brothers is definitely heavier than Stampede, you know. So yeah, did you have any reasons to go for a heavier road, or when have you
It
decided to?
wasn't a reason or anything. I just, the first two records were a great opportunity for us to do something other than what we'd done in our previous bands, and it took a lot for us to be able to step out and experiment with southern rock, blues, almost country with a song like Alcohol and Ass, stuff like that. And we kind of got that out of our systems. And then when we came to do this record, it was just like, hey man, let's get back to our roots. Let's get back to what we do best, man. Let's bring all the elements from our previous bands that we are known for, put them in a melting pot and melt them together. And I think that's kind of what people expected from Hellyeah from the very start. They thought maybe it was going to be that, and it was just the right time for that to happen,
And yeah, you didn't work this time with your longtime partner Stanley Wingfield, and I think maybe not many people know that, but he was already there, like from the Pantera days, behind Terry days, and all that stuff, So I guess it was something like kind of new to you to work.
It was very new, man. But originally he was on the docket to be part of the record, and he had gotten an offer to produce a band over in New Zealand, and it was already scheduled, and he was going to be gone for at least a month. And we were ready to get started on the record. We were just chomping at the bit. And so he was gone to New Zealand, and Greg had mentioned, and Chad, Jeremy Parker, who they've worked with in the past. And I didn't know anything about the dude or anything. And I said, well, let's fly him out here and see how it goes. And he came down, and he just blew me away the first day he was there. We just kind of changed very little from our regular setup at the house, but just one of the best engineers I've ever been around. I've never seen a guy that can just fucking snap, crackle, pop, work like that, man. He's fucking amazing. And he's not a real vocal producer. What I mean by that is he's not really deep into trying to help you arrange or write your songs. He's more there to capture the sound of the moment.
Just like Terry dates in a way.
Yeah, and so that was important. And he really worked great with us, man. And it was fun to work with somebody else. A lot of people want to work with a different producer on every record, so they get a different point of view, different vision, different sight, and it's comfortable working with people you're used to. And I still would love to make another record with Sterling. He's awesome, but I'd love to make another record with Jeremy too. It'd be fun to see we could get them both in the room at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, and still on the production side of things, I think that you were, I guess, like when you were writing this record, you were also like taking care of like the re-release of Vulgar Display of Power, I guess. At the same time, I don't know if it plays a role or not, but the sounds to me seems to be a bit influenced, by the sound, especially on the drums. You had like on Vulgar, back then, did it play a role to you? Was it maybe
that's part of the getting back to our roots thing that I was talking about. I really strayed away from the Pantera drum sound on the first couple of Hellyeah records. I went for a bigger, more John Bonham kind of drum sound, without the total room thing. And, he did things different vocally than he had done. Same thing with the guitars, they were a lot more southern and that kind of thing. And when we decided to do this metal record, we said, hey, you know what? That's your drum sound, dude. Bring it to the table. That's your vocal style. Bring it to the table, And that's what we did. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me at all if people say it sounds Pantera influenced. I had a huge part to do with it. Same thing with Mudvayne, That's where we come from, And so we brought it to the table, and I think it took the band to another level.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just like on your drawing, also like the groove-oriented element, is definitely back, or something. And like I said, like you said, like you're saying, it's been like a long time since you streamed that much on a record,
Yeah.
So was it something like you need to adapt a bit, or like were you missing that?
I just think that like what I tell everybody is that fucking when we started Hellyeah, I was doing Hellyeah and Mudvayne. I was doing them both. Well, you got to be able to distinguish the two. You know what I mean? So like I put Mudvayne the way I sing in that box, and then in Hellyeah was kind of that other side of me. So I was exploring myself as an experiment, to try to have a different way of singing. And I think that we just, this third record or ever since the second record, I'm not doing Mudvayne's on hiatus right now, and I'm just like, fuck it if it's, you don't want, basically I don't want both the bands to sound the same. You got to be able to distinguish the bands. But now that I'm not doing Mudvayne or whatever, it's like, I'm not going to fucking not be me. I'm Chad Gray. I was the voice of Mudvayne. that doesn't mean that I can't bring that to the table. He's fucking Vinnie Paul. He was the drummer for Pantera. Doesn't mean he can't bring that sound, that amazing fucking drum sound to Hellyeah. It's like, and we all just kind of went, fuck it, let's just be ourselves. Let's take what we've done individually in all of our other, you know, past bands and bring that to Hellyeah. Let's do that for Hellyeah, because what we did individually saw success, you know, in our other projects. You know what I mean? So it's like, fucking, you know, we can't be afraid to be ourselves, you know, so we want to bring it to the table and bring it to the Hellyeah table. And that's what we did. And I think we got a fucking, you know, a killer record from it, you know.
It was definitely easier because we're more familiar with it. That's our territory, you know. And to do what we did with the previous two records, we all love it, man. It was a fucking really cool deviation from what we've done in the past. And, you know, it's a roller coaster ride, man. You know, you got a heavy metal song here, you go around this corner, and the next thing you know, there's a southern rock song. You go around that corner, there's almost country song, and then you come back, and then there's a rock track. I mean, you know, we covered a lot of ground, and we have those songs forever, you know, which is really cool. We've got 3 albums to choose from now, you know, so we can take the fucking new fucking in-your-face heavy songs and mix them in with the fun songs and all that. And I think it's going to be good for touring, you know. It gives us a good catalog, a good place to build, you know.
It'd be cool for the audiences, you know what I mean, to be able to like hear like the You Wouldn't Knows and the Hell of the Times, and then be able to throw in like new shit too, like Bigger God and fucking Call Like I See It, or you know, Warn Me, you know, those
more dynamic and stuff.
Yeah,
set.
it makes the set more dynamic. Yeah. Not everybody, you know. It's like when we wrote that second record, it's like. Like I said, there's so many hips and valleys, and it covers so much ground, diverse, or whatever. I think it's just like life and emotion, you know. Not everybody just wakes up in the morning like, you wake up and go, until your head hits the fucking pillow. You know, you go through many emotions all day. Sometimes you're laughing and happy and sad and fucking pissed off and fucking traffic, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of record kind of encapsulates a day of human existence, you know. There's like some really happy moments on it, there's fucking pissed off moments, you know. And I think that's kind of how we approach all writing the records. This is a heavier record, but it's also a heavier sounding record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The sounds are fuller and the drums are punchier and clickier and fucking moving, you know what I mean? The guitars are aggressive, the vocals are aggressive, but then it kind of, you'll have a different vibe. For songs, like we look at each song as its own global whole. You know, you look at the global whole as the whole record. When you're writing, you look at that's your fucking baby, not the whole record, that song. You know, so as long as you approach that song with complete honesty, you know what I mean, and let the song come to you and let it be what it is. You know what I mean? It can't be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you just, you know. Once you get those 10 different songs, it might be have a little different vibe from song to song or whatever. Then it's up to you to put together the sequence to arrange the record, and then when that's all done, then you can look at the record as your baby, you know, as its own global whole thing. When you're writing, it's fucking one at a time, man. You know, so you got to give it its own spirit, its own attitude. You know?
Yeah, you get songs like Warn Me, Dig Myself a Hole, What It Takes to Be Me, stuff like that. Those titles sounds like personal, you know. So I guess it was written from your perspective, you know. So what are the subjects and topics in the lyrics you did for this record?
I think the theme, like, you know, the theme of this record is just kind of taking your life back. You know what I mean? Like, fucking don't be complacent in your life. You know what I mean? Don't get comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, always live. You know, fucking and live like it's your last day. Like Vinnie says, you know, you live every day like it's your last. You're going to be able to look back someday when you're fucking old and look at your life and be able to be proud of yourself, you know, for living life a certain way. It's like so many people get comfortable, and when they get fucking comfortable, they get depressed because they're looking back, you know what I mean? Look, it's like the guy that,
let opportunity slip away, man.
Yeah, you got to take it, you know what I mean? You got to take that fucking jab, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I say, like, you know, the 40-year-old guy that's fucking working in a cubicle now, he's fucking got a wife and a couple fucking kids, and he's fucking miserable, and fucking he's got to be in this job. The degree that got him this job to let go of his life, you know, was earned in college, where he's doing fucking cake stands and partying and fucking, you know, all this shit, you know, and he's looking back at 40 years old, looking back on those times going, man, I wish I could fucking have that back. You can. You know what I mean? You don't have to fucking live like that, you know? It's depressing to me to watch people live like that. you know, fucking life is hard, but you know, fucking you can enjoy it. You know, you can enjoy hard work. You know what I mean? So just don't let your. I think that's the whole overall vibe. You know, like it's, you know, the first line of Rage Burn is I live my life on 10 because that's just who and what I am. You know what I mean? If you could give everybody that thought, not only the thought, but actually have it penetrate them and they live like that, that's how we fucking do it, man. I mean, we have fun. You know, we're working right now, but it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool. It's a cool conversation, and we're talking about our new record, and we're excited about it, and you know, I'm sure later we'll fucking blow our head off on a bunch of booze and fucking have a good time. That's what we do. You know what I mean?
It would be
It goes well with the name Hellyeah. I mean.
Hell yeah. You gotta
Hell yeah, that's what it's all about.
Hell yeah is not a name, it's a headspace, it's a way of life. You know, when you're called Hell yeah, you better goddamn well be able to bring it. You know, you can't be Hell yeah and fucking do an interview like this and you know, we're kind of excited about the new record. Fuck that. You know, we got a new record coming out. You know, we're stoked. We're Hell yeah, goddamn it. So anyway,
That's cool.
I'm gonna break something right now, man.
You had like this booze and then alcohol in your ass in the past. Now you got like drink, drunk, you know,
Yeah.
this record. So I guess when you were writing this song, it was like the goal was like to write another like drinking anthem or something like that.
That song.
I guess those kind of songs works well live. I guess too.
It's really
It's fucking awesome.
those songs are pretty easy for us to write. You know what I mean? That's a pretty easy song for me to write. When I was a kid, man, where I come up with a name for that. When I was a kid, there was this book, and I remember always fucking I was a big gearhead. I was into racing and shit when I was a kid, and there was this book in the library, and it was called Fast, Faster, Fastest, or whatever. And it was different as you would go through the book. It would be like, you know, rally cars, and then it would be like, you know, NASCARs, stock cars, and sprint cars, and dragsters. You know what I mean? So it's like Fast, Faster, Fastest. Drink, drunk. You know what I mean? That's just kind of the 3 different ways of looking at.
It's got to be one of the heaviest party songs ever. I mean, musically, it's fucking very, very heavy and just fucking. I mean, the first time I heard them play that riff, dun, 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 I had this fucking bottom thing that just popped in my head, dun, 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 pop, pop, you know, and it was just like fucking the groove, man. It was there. It's a fucking groove tune, and then he came up with the lyrics and everything. We were just like, wow, man. I mean, that's one that's people are gonna fucking dig, man.
Yeah. Especially like in between like 2 songs, like more like intense stuff. I get like more dynamic, a little breeze. You know.
Right. Yeah.
It's intense though. You know what I mean? It's fucking. It's just it's so us, man. We're just like, let's get fucked up till we fall down. Let's everybody get drunk right now. Let's fucking go. That's the whole live your life on 10 vibe, man. Embracing the vertical moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got like the Big Vin records as well, you know, but you didn't like.
He's got Bully Goat records.
Yeah. So do you guys have plans with like
With the label thing, man.
I put it to bed.
The label thing for me was part of my healing process, you know.
Yeah.
And after losing my brother for about 8 months, I was completely lost. I mean, I lived in the bottom of a bottle of vodka, and I was just like miserable, man. I had no clue where to go, what to turn to. Done everything in my life with my brother, and one day I grabbed this fucking disc that we made with David Allen Coe and popped it in and listened to it. And I just remembered how special it was and how important it was for my brother to get that music out. He wanted people to really hear what a true heavy metal country collaboration was all about, you know. And we had so much fun making the record with this old dude, man. It was awesome, you know. And so that became my first thing that said, you got to pick up the pieces and move. You got to carry on, you know. And I played it for the label, and they said, well, we don't know what to do with this, man. Do we sell it to country people? Do we sell it to rock and roll people? Who do we sell this to? And we're going to pass on it. And I was like, well, I know who to fucking sell it to, our fans, man. And so I started Big Vin Records, man. And I put it out, and we sold like 150,000 units of it. And it's pretty popular, man. I mean, everybody can really, you know, dig the collaboration and all that. And then I put Dime Vision out through my label, which was very important to me. You know, another way for people to really celebrate my brother's life and enjoy everything he was all about. And then, you know, as a record company, I put a Christmas record out for my dad, a country singer named Lisa Lane, which is really cool. And
so
then,
like Seventh Void, which I
yeah,
love.
Seventh Void was my favorite, man. You know, and that's really what got me back into wanting to be in the business as an artist again. Working with them, I produced the record with Johnny and Kenny. They recorded all of it in New York, and then we did a lot of production on it at my house. And I fell in love with the record, man. And you know, I said, man, you guys are gonna get a fucking killer record deal with this. And they're like, no, man, we want to be on your label, you know. And I was like, nah, you gotta go get a record deal with this somewhere else, you know. And they're like, no, we want to be on your label, you know. So we really did step it up and go as far as I could as a label to really try to take them somewhere special, you know. And unfortunately, we didn't sell as many records as we wanted to. That was a really a big eye opener for me as how hard it is to be on that side of the fence. Yeah. And then right about that time is when Hellyeah came along, and I was like, man, chomping at the bit to get back playing at that time, and it happened, man. And so I really haven't done a whole lot with the label since then. You know, if something really blows me away someday, I still have it, and it's still there, and I still have my deal with Universal and all that. But right now, I'm focused on Hellyeah, and that's all that I fucking care to be focused on right now.
Okay. Yeah, you're talking about like Rebel meets Rebel. It's like the third song on this record is really like awesome. Like Always Do More Dope again.
Yeah.
That song I think like does a perfect. I call it like funk metal almost. You know.
You know, it almost
that riff from the verse.
To me and Dime are huge Pat Travers fans, and his guitar playing on that is really reminiscent of Pat Travers. You know, it's just like Pat always had a funk side to him, and you know, Dime basically wrote all the lyrics for that song. David changed a few things on it, but it's a song he wrote a long time ago, and it's a fact. I mean, you can go into country bars and you know, there's real redneck cowboys that listen to Van Halen and Judas Priest and snort a lot of coke and fucking do a lot of meth and fucking smoke weed. I mean,
and drink.
You know, and drink. You know, it's so, you know, it was like, and honestly, I mean, country bands they do a lot more partying than rock bands, man. Rock bands these days are PC, man. You know, clean and sober. PC. It should be CNS, clean and sober. But country, you know, they keep it under the sheets, you know. They keep it quiet. So it's kind of like that nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors things. And that's one of the lyrics in there, you know. Not that, but there's, you know, it's all about they keep it low key, you know. So, you know, country musicians, they know how to party, man. That's why country musicians like
Being sober is a new loaded today.
Well, no, I'm completely sober. You know, that's the thing about this band too, is that we are not 24-hour raging alcoholics. You know, we fucking get up and we fucking do what it takes to get our bodies feeling good. Drink a ton of water. You know, try to eat right when we're on the road. This, that, and the other. And then right before the show, we have a couple shots, maybe a couple beers. Kick on some fucking badass metal that inspires us, whether it be Metallica, Slayer, Judas Priest, whatever it is that day, you know. Lamb of God's been in the CD player a lot lately, you know. And we get fired up and we go out on that fucking stage and kill, and maybe have a couple while we're on stage. Then when we're done doing our business, then it's time to fucking party. And we want to fucking get it on, you know. It's all good, you know. So, you know, that's kind of a misconception that people think that we're just fucking drunk lunatics from 10 o'clock in the morning till we fucking pass out, you know. You can't get up and play like that, you know.